Hey, it's Terry, Virginia's daughter, and I'm back as promised with Viewing Embroideries Part 2. Part 1 I did last... It's been a minute. But Part 1 I talked about the life viewer, the design player, zooming in, zooming out, zoom to rectangle, all kinds of ways that you can view your embroidery just to get it right. Backgrounds is also part of Viewing Embroideries. But backgrounds was such an extensive text that I just decided I would dedicate a separate video to it, and here it is. Wouldn't you agree that a background can make or break a project? In this video, I'm going to talk about the background types. So there are particular types of backgrounds that you can load into your work area. You can load garments, quilt blocks, and fabric. So stay tuned. And if you don't mind, just leave in the comment below, like, how does embroidery fit into your life? Is it a hobby? You do it for a living? Are you thinking about selling embroidery? What software program do you have? Do you have the Premiere Plus 2 embroidery? I'm guessing you do because you're watching the video. Or do you have another program? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, I'll make you a deal. You watch the video to the very end. Count the number of times I say the word alternatively.
Alternatively.
And if you get it right, I might have something for you. I'm just playing. Hopefully you will watch the video to the end, and if you don't, come back to it later. Without further ado, here's backgrounds. Take care. Use the background tools to load a background or create a new background using the background assistant. You're also able to move a background or fade a background. Remember though, the background tools are only available after a background has been selected in the background assistant. Use the background assistant to load an existing background or create a new background. Preview your embroideries that you've designed on a garment, home decor item, quilt block, fabric, or other background. Use Realistic 3D to view the embroideries and backgrounds in 3D without a grid, hoop, or selection box. When you add a new background to your collection, you provide a measurement so that it can be matched to the size of your embroideries. The garment, quilt block, and fabric backgrounds supplied with Premiere Plus 2 embroidery have already been set to real size. Use Load Background to start the background assistant, where you can load a background or create a new background. Click the Load Background button on the toolbar, or choose View from the menu bar and Load Background. This will open the background assistant. Use Background Visibility to open a pop-up menu and select one of the background visibility options. Background On shows the background at full visibility. To use Background On, click the Background Visibility button on the toolbar and choose Background On. Alternatively, choose View from the menu bar, Background Visibility, and Background On. Background Off hides the background. To use Background Off, click the Background Visibility button on the toolbar and choose Background Off. Alternatively, choose View from the menu bar, Background Visibility, and Background Off. Fade Background opens the Fade Background dialog where you can set the visibility for the background garment or fabric. To use Fade Background, click the Fade Background button on the toolbar and choose Fade Background in the pop-up menu. Alternatively, you can choose View on the menu bar, Background Visibility, and Fade Background. Drag the slider to set the background visibility to any point between 0% where your background is going to be off to 100% where your background is fully on. As you drag the slider, the appearance of the background changes. Click Close when the background is set at the desired fade level. Move and rotate your background. Use Move and Rotate Background to move the background that you have placed behind your embroideries. The mouse pointer changes to a four-headed arrow. To move a background, click the Move Background button on the toolbar or choose View, Move background from the menu bar. Drag the garment or fabric back. If you want to delete a background, just choose View from the menu bar and select Remove Background. Now let's choose a background. Use the Choose Background page of the Background Assistant to select whether to load a saved background or to create a new background for your embroidery. If you decide to load a previously saved background, select Load a previously saved background to browse to a saved background file. If you decide to add a new background, select Add a new background to browse a picture on your computer or import a picture from a scanner, camera, or social media. Once you've selected either to load a previously saved background or to add a new background, you select the background type. Select a background type to load or create, choosing from garment, quilt block, or fabric. If you selected Add a new background, you'll be taken to the Choose Picture page. If you selected Load a previously saved background, you'll be taken to the Load Background page. Alright, so let's say you decided to load a previously saved background. So from the Choose Background page, you've selected Load a previously saved background, and you have selected your garment type. Again, once you click Continue, you are taken to the Load Background page. Here you're going to click Select to choose a background in the Background Viewer and browse to the desired folder and background. Now, I always have to pause here because I'm still trying to find my background viewer. There's some viewers that I don't have, and so I'm trying to find out what that is. It may have something to do with my iOS. I'm not sure. In any case, hopefully you have yours. The background type, i.e. garment, quilt block, or fabric, depends on the choice you selected in the Choose Background dialog. Clicking Done will close the Background Assistant and load the background in the work area. Otherwise, you could just click Quit to exit without selecting a background. Let's say you want to add a new background. So from the Choose Background page, you selected Add New Background and you selected your background type. Once you click Continue, that's going to take you to the Choose Picture page. Use the Choose Picture page of the Background Assistant to select a picture to create a background. Click Select File to select a picture to create a background and browse to one of the sample subfolders such as Home, Premiere Plus 2 Samples, Premiere Plus 2 Embroidery Pics. Alternatively, you can browse to a folder elsewhere on your computer. There are quite a few popular image file formats that may be loaded. Check your reference manual for a comment. Again, you're at the Choose Picture page. Once you click Select File, the Open dialog will appear. You will browse to the desired folder, click on a picture, and click Open to open the picture onto the Choose Picture page and to close the dialog. You are also able to click Cancel to exit without selecting a picture. Click Continue to prepare your picture as a background. Once you continue, you will be taken to the Rotate and Crop Picture page. If you decide to exit without selecting a picture, you will be returned to the Choose Background page. Use the Rotate and Crop Picture page of the Background Assistant to prepare a garment or quilt block picture when creating a background. If required, rotate the picture to any angle from 0 to 359 degrees. For example, you may find that this is useful when you're straightening scanned pictures. When the picture is rotated between the 90-degree steps, the picture is made larger, and the detected background color is added. If there is no distinctive background color, white is used. Select All to select the whole of the picture, and select Automatic to select the smallest rectangle that includes all colors that are not the background color. The size of the crop may vary if the picture is rotated. So in order to rotate and crop the picture, drag the rotational slider to rotate the picture to the desired angle. Also, you're able to enter a number in the rotation angle number box or use the arrows to increase or decrease the angle of rotation. Drag the handles on the crop area boundary line to select the desired part of the picture. Hold the Shift key while dragging to resize the rectangle proportionally. Hold the Option key while dragging to resize the rectangle without moving its center. Drag anywhere inside the crop box to move the crop box. If you need to expand a crop box again, make sure it is not touching the edges of the frame, as this will stop it from expanding. If desired, click Automatic to select the crop lines automatically, or click Select All to use the whole picture. To remove the effects of perspective in a picture, or to correct skew, select Perspective Correction. When using perspective correction, the crop handles are red. Drag the red handles so that the crop lines frame the picture. Use the zoom tools to view the outline of the picture more clearly. When taking a picture, be sure to hold the camera or phone so as to avoid reflected light and shadow on your subject. Drag the Stretch Picture slider to make the picture in the preview wider or more narrow. Let's change the perspective in a picture. In the Rotate and Crop Picture page, ensure that the perspective correction is selected. Move the pointer over one of the red crop handles in the corner. The pointer changes to a diagonal double-headed arrow. Move the red corner handles so that the crop lines frame the picture. The angle of the adjoining crop lines changes. A version of the picture with the perspective corrected appears in the preview area. Drag the Stretch Picture slider to correct the proportions of the picture. Here you're able to use the zoom bar to change the view of the picture. Drag the slider to the right to zoom in or magnify the view, and drag the slider to the left to zoom out or shrink the view. When zoomed in, use the scroll bars or swipe to move around. From here, you're able to go back and return to the Choose Picture page, or you can continue and go to the Set Size page. Before we talk about setting the size, let's talk about how you would rotate and crop a picture using a picture of fabric. Here you're going to use the Rotate and Crop Picture fabric page of the Background Assistant to prepare a fabric sample picture when creating a background. Now let's adjust the crop area. Initially, half the area of the picture is selected from the middle of the picture, as shown by the dash box in the picture on the left. The preview on the right shows 4 copies of the selected fabric area tiled together. The tiled preview changes dynamically as you change the crop area. To adjust the crop area, position the mouse over the crop boundary until a double-headed arrow appears, then drag to move the boundary line. To move the crop area, position the mouse inside the crop boundary until a hand pointer appears, then drag to move the whole rectangle. To redraw the crop area, drag outside the crop boundary to draw a new rectangle, which can then be adjusted as required. To see where the 4 sections of the background are joined, select the Show Divider option. Dashed lines show where the tiled sections will be joined. This is useful for pattern fabric to ensure that the patterns repeat as desired. When the desired area is selected, click Continue. Rotate the picture from 0 to 359 degrees, adjust the picture angle as desired, and again, you're going to find yourself doing this most when you're dealing with scanned pictures. You can enter the desired rotation angle or use the up and down arrows to change the angle, and the preview is going to show all of those effects. Again, you can select all to select the whole picture, or you can select automatic to set the crop lines back to the default position for the current picture. And then you want to save picture if you want to save the edited picture. Now, you can either continue to set the size as we said earlier, or you could return to go back to choose picture page. So now let's talk about setting the size. Use set size to enter a real measurement of the garment or fabric so that it is displayed at real size when it's used as the background. The garment or fabric is shown in the preview. Drag the arrows at either end of the gray line to place a line across the picture. This should match a measurement you have made across the same area of the real garment or fabric. The length can be from 10 millimeters to 1,000 millimeters. Click the arrows for height and width to change the line measurement. Alternatively, enter a number in the size number box. Check that the line and the length matches the measurement you made of the real garment or fabric. If desired, drag the arrows to place a new line and re-enter the line length. When the line is measured correctly, click Continue. Use the zoom bar to change the view of the embroidery by zooming in to magnify or zooming out to shrink the view. And remember, when you're zoomed in, you always use the scroll bars to move around. If you continue, you will go to the Set Background Name page. If you decide to go back, you'll return to the Rotate and Crop Picture page. Use the Set Background Name to save the finished background in a category and give it a name. The categories are the folder names that you see when browsing for existing backgrounds. If you used an existing picture, the picture name is shown by default as the name for the new background. If you scanned a new picture, it will not have a name, so you will need to enter a name. Enter a name for the background in the text box. Select a category, save the background in the My Backgrounds folder or browse to another Backgrounds folder. If you want to create a new category within the selected category. Enter a name for the new category. This will create a subfolder within the My Garments folder. If desired, use the back button to go back through the background assistant and modify settings before previewing the design again. Click Done to save the new background with the specified name in the specified category and close the background assistant. The new background is displayed in the work area.